No actual unfortunate nookie for this episode. Nani?
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
Hello friends and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise. Swearsies, it's just a fact and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we're diving into rSlash LegbeardStories. That's right, we got to get back into that unfortunate nookie saga. This will be part number 16. God damn! If you missed the previous parts, those links are in the description for you to peruse at your leisure. Today we are going to China, which is kind of ironic considering Bourgeois Beard is going alongside this story, and he's like so obsessed with the Communist Party. Hey, Bourgeois Beard, why don't you go live in China? Tell me how you like it. It's probably not so bad. I mean, most places aren't so bad. As long as you don't get caught in the middle of an oppressive government's crosshairs, it should all be fine, right? At least that's what I presume. I ain't never been there myself. But I did live in America for most of my life, so take from that what you will. I don't feel like I was really oppressed when I was living there, but that's probably because I didn't piss off somebody that was way high up, you know? Anyways, let's get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some of this Legbeard stories cringe. Also, unfortunate nookie going up on the podcast, so check that out if you would be so kind. Unfortunate nookie, part 16, the trip to China. Shay Shay, that's all I know how to say in Chinese.
早上好，中国！现在我有冰淇淋，我很喜欢冰淇淋。
I play with a lot of Chinese people on Rainbow Six Siege, and that's all I know how to say is thank you, either sarcastically or not. Hello again, dear Redditors and ReddX fans, of course. 'Tis I, the long-suffering idiot OP that put up with Unfortunate Nookie and Naruto headband for 7 years, bringing you some eternal cringe. What a sacrifice to make. God bless ya. Not safe for work warnings, of course. Neckbeards are gross, and this story is no exception. You have been warned. Shit gets ridiculous and heavy in this saga, and ridiculously heavy, even. So just feel free to nope out whenever you need to. This part is bad. You've been warned so many times. Bro, I don't know if I'm ready for this today. We've had a break, though. I'll just steal up and, hop in. How bad could it get? Don't ask that. New to this saga? I recommend you start with ReddX, reading the prologue here. Last part before this one was here, and the next part is over here. Yes, links in the description. As I said, you could also go to reddit.com/user/thegreenbear. That green bear. If you're looking to read the posts, get a little bit ahead of where we are currently. For all things in between, either check up how far along ReddX is or check my post history, as I said. Also, my buddy Brute has been giving her side of Unfortunate Nookie in her own recollections. Brute's Tales of Unfortunate Nookie. And we will get to those before I put the compilation together, just so we get the full story. But let us get to our cast. No actual Unfortunate Nookie for this episode. Nani? Ome wa mo shinderu. Nani?
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
Oh god, dude. That means it's 100% Naruto headband, who I have found to be worse than Unfortunate Nookie, mostly because he's dating OP. As we shall see in the description, I suppose. Yes, Naruto headband. Neckbeard, dating OP. Doesn't see anything wrong with holding a knife to someone's throat. Likes to just beat OP in order to feel powerful. Also uses OP for other things to feel good. Greenie, that's our OP. I don't even know anymore. Self-harmed, and that is going to become a problem, among other things. Deteriorating slowly, emanating really strong, this is fine vibes. Cis, her, one of the few girls training the same martial art as me. I was very calm and slow to anger. She would throw fists from the smallest excuse. We made an interesting pair. Monkey is one of the guys who picked up our style. He'd been raised in Europe, but born in China, so he looked like a local in China and spoke and read the language. Cantonese or Mandarin? It's a very important distinction. He was 10 years older, and as soon as he'd spent time with Naruto Headband, he hated that dude with a passion. He was athletic, sarcastic, an ass when it didn't really matter, and helpful when it did. He liked to call himself evil, but it was mostly to hide being an actually nice person so that asshats wouldn't use him. Alright, that sounds like Ramtide. With the cast out of the way, let's jump on into things. Where we last left off, Unfortunate Nookie had a massive fight with Artist and lost her as a friend. She blamed OP for butting in and for stealing Artist and ruining their friendship. Yet, when the dust settled, she greedily took OP back. Artist was done and came and went. Many did not last as long as our poor, naive OP. But let's get back into OP's wonderful relationship with Naruto Headband. Yeah, I guess 15 and 16 were all Unfortunate Nookie. Now we're jumping into all Naruto Headband, which I hate a lot more, but deep breath, we're in it now. I fucking hated going anywhere with Naruto Headband. It didn't matter if it was a day trip to the amusement park, his family's summer cottage, or a longer trip abroad. He was absolutely shit as far as company goes on trips. For some reason, all trips made him nervous and agitated as shit. Nothing was ever okay. We'd go into the amusement park and
he doesn't want to do anything. All the rides suck. And not that one. And definitely not the other one.
He doesn't want to eat anything because
everything's so expensive and shitty. And the games are all a ripoff. And the free shows have too many idiots he doesn't want to stand close to.
Etc., etc., and everything that was wrong, and everything was always wrong, it was all your fault. God, he does sound like a miserable human being, doesn't he? I'm not really partial to going out and about, but once you're there, I mean, let it go. Try and have a good time, at the very least. You paid to be here, didn't you? Let's eat a frozen banana for $8. Fuck it. But all that is not the most aggravating part. The most aggravating part was, as surely as every trip would make him the Grinch, as soon as we were on our way home, he would bust into a huge-ass smile and go,
"That was so much fun. When are we doing that again?"
Every single time. Yeah, it's like his mind just rewrote the entire experience. I hate Disneyland until we leave, and then it's like, oh yeah, we went to Disneyland. Wasn't that great? After my trip to Japan with a lawyer, about a year later, Naruto Headband and I took a training trip to China together. I spent most of this trip insecure. After training for 4 years, I barely knew anyone's name, because Naruto Headband did not allow me to interact with anyone. Dangerous penises and all, if you recall his reasoning. Now, penises can be dangerous, but usually for the one that they're attached to, okay?
We're gonna be talking about the penis!
Due to him bullying me, I didn't feel like I belong. I didn't feel like I deserved to be there, training with everybody. And he did nothing to comfort or assure me. I had to find my place with everyone all on my own. I spent the first couple of days just crying and having panic attacks because he literally abandoned me so he could pander either to our master or the local master. Just big smiles and ready to serve or perform if they even implied that they wanted something from him. I was alone in a country where I didn't speak the language and seemingly had no friends. Even my boyfriend seemed to have forgotten that I existed. I guess you gotta make the most of it. Surely there is somebody in that group that wants to be your friend, and just, you haven't made the connection yet, because Naruto had been standing in the way. But now he's playing a little cuck with the local masters, so, Yeah, go off the leash. Run free. It's time to do whatever you want. It sounds like a beautiful thing to me, but I can understand how it's a bit overwhelming if you've been contained in a box for the past few years. Anyways, it does get better, though. Our master realized that I was sad, even though Naruto Headband didn't, or simply ignored me because he was too busy kissing ass. I told him through tears and a language barrier that I don't feel like I belong. Is it okay that I'm here? He looked confused and smiled at me. Of course! You're here, yes? We had only shown up a few days earlier, and the others trickled in. My sister showed up. We'll call her sister, as she was the only other girl training besides me. Traditional Chinese setting, all your training buddies are your brothers or sisters. I was allowed to befriend her since she didn't have a penis. That's the criteria. Okay. And thus, she was not a threat to Naruto Headband. Sis was good friends with Monkey. I assumed I knew, but I didn't know Monkey like all the other guys, meaning I had been training together with him for years, but I hadn't even been able to learn his name because of Naruto Headband's cock blocking, quote unquote. Turns out this was Monkey's first trip with our group, but I didn't know that, and I acted oddly friendly with him because I assumed that I'm supposed to know who he is. It was a weird position to be in. Well, this is what we call the cavalry arriving. Now it's time to cut loose, you know? Go to one of them local Chinese bars. They got bars over there, don't they? I don't actually know. I think they got bars everywhere. What kind of question is that? Naruto Headband's out of the way. It's time to have a little fun. That's all I'm saying. Really quickly, it turned out that Monkey hated Naruto Headband. And since Sis hung out with Monkey, I got shielded from Naruto Headband by hanging out with her and, by proxy, Monkey. It felt confusing to me, back then, that I like a person so much because they hate my boyfriend. The synapses were firing, but it didn't click quite yet. Yeah, your brain knows what's good for you. Listen to your brain most of the time. Sometimes, maybe. I know your brain can also get tricked. How else do you spend $300 on Candy Crush in a month? Oh, it wasn't me that did that, just to be clear. It was my grandma. And oh boy, did I need shielding. Naruto Headband never knew where we were supposed to go, when we were supposed to meet, what we were doing for each day, and if I wasn't on top of it either, then he attacked me verbally and berated me for not holding his hand every second of the goddamn day. I took a wrong turn once going back to our hotel, and he just kept calling me names and saying,
"It'll be my fault, and he tell Master that it's my fault. And so if we don't make it back in time for the next event of the trip, he'll know how useless I am too,"
etc., etc., non-stop, until I got us back on the right track. How could you not abandon him? I'd just be like, I don't know. I turned around and you were gone. That's so sad. I hope you don't get lost forever. Shanghai. Naruto Headband also said that
I ruined China for him
when I made comparisons of China versus Japan, since Japan was the only Asian country that I'd ever been to, and Japan is a lot nicer in many aspects. Don't get me wrong, I love China, and I would love to go back someday, but it just has a lot of not so great things. With the air quality and the general cleanliness, it isn't as safe due to pickpockets, etc. as Japan. I mean, you really can't compare Japan to any place else. It is wild. Did you know in Japan, to reserve a seat at a table, you just leave your cell phone there, and nobody comes through and steals cell phones? Nobody! It's so crazy. What do the cops even do in Japan? They give directions to tourists, and that's about it. Holy God. There is like a seedy underbelly to things, but yeah, it is well hidden. China, not the same at all. I can tell you even from just dealing with Chinese manufacturers that they are looking for a window to try and pull one over on you. Very different culture. I don't really think that there's a comparison aside from them both being Asian. So yeah, it was just me expressing my opinions. But Naruto Headband said,
You ruined China for me.
oh, fuckle up. It's about to get bad again. Maybe we should take a break and talk about something nice. Have you petted a puppy today? Yes, I have too. What's your favorite dog breed? Ascal. They're Philippine street dogs. Maybe you're more of a cat person. No. Okay, so you know about the lactation fetish that Naruto Headband had? Yeah, I do remember. I almost forgot, but thanks for reminding me. He also had more. One thing was that he thought it would be super hot to wake me up to a good fucking. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's called assault, unless you establish that it's okay before somebody goes to sleep. So yeah, it means that he constantly, and I mean like at the worst multiple times a night, minimum maybe a few times a week, he'd try to touch between my legs or strip me and put his junk in me while I slept. When I woke up panicked and told him, "What the fuck? Stop it!" he'd get mad at me and say,
I'm impossible to please.
No, you bitch. He would whine that,
I don't love him if I don't let him.
no matter how I would try to explain that I'm just not into it. I don't want to do it. I can't consent if I'm not conscious, you fucking idiot. He would try to turn it into me
not understanding how romantic and hot this was, and it was my fault for not behaving correctly.
Yes, behaving correctly, like wanting to be assaulted in the middle of the night. Bro, I'm sleeping. Leave me alone. Jesus. If you're really dead set on this, okay, maybe I pretend that I'm asleep for you when I'm actually awake, but don't interrupt my sleep schedule. So yeah, this is why I say that the rape was constant and basically casual, and I had a hard time saying only a few times, if any times, that we had sex was consensual, because if I said no or stop or I don't want to, it hurts, or any and all kinds of indications of no, he'd just say,
I can't take it back because I already said yes.
Or,
it doesn't count because I didn't stop him before we started.
Bro, that is so not okay. If anybody says no at any point, that's it. You're done. I don't care if you got blue balls, finish yourself off in the sink. Consent has been withdrawn. That's how consent works. I'm sure I don't need to explain this to anybody except Naruto Headband, right? Oh, Jesus. Or he would say that,
I didn't resist in the beginning, so you can't call it rape.
He'd demand a proper reason why I was saying no. Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah, okay, but you need a good reason for me to stop. Bro, no to all of this. If he judged the reason to not be good enough, he'd just keep going. If I was wet, he'd use that to justify it with,
see, I knew you were into it. You're just playing hard to get.
Which can be fun if you're into that sort of thing, you know, hold down the wrists and whatnot, but you need a safe word. The safe word is banana. Or maybe pomegranate is a better safe word, because that's a lot less likely to be mentioned during intercourse, isn't it? Banana, I could see how that one would get brought up. Now, anyways, let's continue, I suppose. To any sexual abuse victims out there, if you get wet or if you have a penis and get hard during sexual abuse, that does not mean that you were into it. Your body can react to stimuli, even if your mind is against it. This is a fucked up tactic that abusers will use to justify that their victim was consenting. But the status of your sexual organ is not consent. Your body reacting to stimulus is not your mind agreeing to what's happening. You can control your breathing to a point, but you can't just stop breathing. Your sexual organs are much the same. Consent is consciously agreeing to intercourse and not revoking said consent at any point. If either is missing, you stop right away. Above everything else, you have to respect the free will of others. No means no. And you have the right to say no whenever you feel like it. You don't need to offer any reason why. That is a beautiful paragraph, very informative. Although I really, really hope that there's nobody out there that needs to hear this. I know that there probably is, and that makes me really sad. But yes, all this is factual. Okay, sometimes I get boners at night. That doesn't mean hop on top. I mean, if wifey did it, I wouldn't be mad at her, but that's not just an invitation for anybody. So yeah, this is all a given, even if I didn't know that for years. Okay, so maybe it does need to be heard by some victims. Abusers, they probably know exactly what they're doing. They know that it's wrong, they just use all this shit to justify it to themselves so they can sleep at night. That's assuming they have a conscience. Oh God, it's so complicated. So yeah, guys, in China, I took a nap in my shared room with Naruto headband because I was so out of it. I don't really know if I'm a light sleeper because of his antics or if I was already one before, but pretty soon I woke up to weird sounds. Bit sloshy, rhythmic noises, macaroni in the pot. This yucky, sweaty, rank smell. Oh no. The smell made me think of sweaty gym socks, junk gunk, and I heard panting. What the fuck? I thought to myself as I cracked an eye open. Naruto headband was masturbating right in front of my face. Oh God. Again, it can be a lot of fun, but only if it's pre-established, I suppose. Side note, you know how Jewish boys get circumcised? Well, Naruto headband was not Jewish, but his dick was weird. Oh God. His foreskin was off, if you know what I mean. Why? Because he had torn it off. Oh no! No. It bothered him for aesthetic reasons. He had sort of circumcised himself by tearing off his own foreskin. Is that physically possible? Ooh, that's horrifying, dude. His dick, his preference, I guess. It also had these weird bumps on the tip, like pimples. Oh, textured for her pleasure. God damn it, dude. This is more than I ever wanted to know. But I digress. Thank you for that digression that I will never get out of my head ever. Oh God, dude. That is the deepest soul cringe. This fucked up, stinky dick was being furiously pumped in front of my face. He doesn't take well to being told no, so I tried to navigate within the confines of my weird relationship to find an acceptable escape path, and I laughed. OP, dude, what the fuck? That's gross. Go fire off in the bathroom or something. And I rolled over to the other side of the bed. He followed me to the other side of the bed, still beating it.
Well, I'ma beat my meat.
I was hysterically giggling. I mean, it is a ridiculous situation. It is assault still. I'm so conflicted whether I should even be laughing or not. OP, seriously, don't. I don't want any of that on me. I'm trying to sleep, for fuck's sake. Just stop it. I pulled a blanket all over myself and went to the center of the bed. He tore the blanket off and now stood over me on the bed, just whacking it. I stopped laughing. Naruto headband, I do not want this. Stop it. And I tried to crawl away. He kicked me into place and kept at it with a crazy look in his eye. Oh boy. I was hurt, scared, and still now, and he finished on my face. Fuck, dude. What a horrible human being. OP said, oh God, it's in my I've been having a hard time laughing at that. This This situation got heavy in a hurry. Naruto Headband laughed and lay down next to me. He was pleased with himself. Naruto Headband,
wasn't that hot?
OP, it's in my nose. No, it wasn't. Naruto Headband,
Come on, babe. Don't be like that. You were just so sexy when you were sleeping. Admit it. You laughed. You liked it.
Laughter is not consent. What is going on here? I just looked at his grinning, stupid fucking face. I had lost. I had been used, and as usual, I was apparently just too stupid to appreciate how hot and fun this was. But it didn't feel hot or fun. My face was full of smelly gunk, and it was in my hair and up my nose and in my eyes, and I don't know if you know, but it is a bitch to wash off, especially out of your hair. I was pissed, and he wasn't even sorry. Naruto Headband still smiling.
It feels good on your face, doesn't it?
I found rare defiance. I smiled. His smile widened for a fraction of a second when he thought I finally saw things his way, until I exacted my sweet revenge. I wiped my cum-stained face on his face. Wasn't that fun and hot? Some guys are into it. I don't know. Naruto Headband scrambled to get out of bed and started gagging.
What the fuck, OP?
OP doing my best Robin Williams impression. Now you know how it feels, asshole. I don't know what Robin Williams quote that is, but I guess maybe my editor will find it, perhaps. I did tell Sis, and Naruto Headband avoided Sis and I for a few days during the trip out of pure shame. Beautiful. The only thing that affected him at all was public shaming. And he deserves it more than anyone. During the trip, I also had lady problems. You know, Shark Week, Werewolf Week. What other funny names does it have? Aunt Flo was visiting. I was having a code red. No, we don't call it code red. I like Shark Week. Anywho, Naruto Headband absolutely refused to help me find period pads, which I had run out of, and I couldn't find a supermarket or something in China to find more. Monkey stepped in to help me. I was super embarrassed and apologized profusely for inconveniencing him, but he didn't seem to mind at all. It's a normally bodily function, and it's normal to take care of it, so let's find you what you need, okay? You should date Monkey. Or not even date him, just be his best friend forever. You don't need to date anybody to make yourself feel complete. But this dude is definitely more deserving of your friendship than Naruto Headband would ever be. Slowly it was starting to click that Naruto Headband didn't think that girls farted, and he refused to deal with me on my period. Almost like he didn't see girls as people, even though he said he loved them almost too much. My brain was just 404ing again. But at least somebody helped me get my needs met. I mean, there's no question that the dude does not see women as people. You can't just beat somebody mercilessly in order to feel tough if you see them as a person. God, he's so much worse than Unfortunate NOOKIE. It's like 10 times worse. Naruto Headband avoiding me did not last long enough. Every now and then during training, it was a training trip, so we trained 2 to 3 hours twice almost every day, unless it was a tourism day. Naruto Headband would pass me by or pull me aside to tell me that
he could take every one of the other students,
and just tell me how
weak and lazy and sometimes fat, or,
you know, more preschool level insults, etc. everyone else was. How he
was the superior martial artist, and he was really frustrated how the master didn't see his amazing progress.
And he'd say the same about the master in China that we were visiting to learn from. I would placate him and tell him to just keep doing his thing, that his skill would speak for itself. Told him not to worry about it. I think the skill is speaking for itself, and that's why he's being ignored completely. The master's just like, oh yeah, it's another one of those guys, thinks he's hot shit, whatever. I really don't think a good master would play favorites anyways, you know what I mean? All students are equal or something like that. Naruto Headband said,
I could kill anyone here.
do it, limp dick. Then he'd walk away before I could even compute what the fuck. That night in our hotel room, he went off again. Naruto Headband,
I'm tired of everyone looking down on me. They're just weak assholes. All of them.
With each angry sentence, he would walk closer to me. I would try to keep some space between us because he was being threatening. Naruto Headband,
they give me no respect, yet I could kill them all if I wanted to. I'm like Vegeta.
God. I can't breathe. I'm like Vegeta.
I'm stronger than all of them.
Is that me? Is that me stronger than me? Oh, f***ing kill me!
God, I can't get over it. Oh, yes. Feed me more of that. It's the top level cringe. They're fucking hilarious. Oh. I mean, he's being angry. I shouldn't laugh so hard. But if somebody legitimately said that to my face, I think I would die laughing. He managed to corner me in our hotel room. God damn it. It's gonna get heavy, isn't it? The climax before the fall. He didn't have a knife this time, but he literally pushed my shoulders to the wall and pressed me into the wall. I was trapped. He had that mad look in his eyes again. He'd name many of our training brothers and point out
why he hated them, or how lazy and weak they are.
Then he'd lean his face in so I could smell the garlic on his breath and hiss,
I hate all of them. I'm stronger than all of them. The master's just distracted by their stupid jokes. He's just a stupid old man. I could kill them all. And tell me, why shouldn't I?
You should, dude. Murder-suicide. Go ahead. Start with yourself. What was I supposed to say to this fucking murder hobo? He wasn't literally or directly threatening me, but I was being pushed against a wall and being told how he wanted to murder people. The silence stretched. He really wasn't going to release me until I gave him a reply. OP. I mean, no one really liked Vegeta when he was mean. Oh, God. You gotta stop. The Naruto Headband seemed to take a long time to process what I said. We stood there, him pressing me into the wall, us just staring at each other. I might have been shaking, just waiting. Eventually, he let me go with an annoyed grunt and mumbled,
I could kill everyone.
Is that what makes you feel like a big man, huh? Jesus. Besides Monkey, most of the others actually liked him, respected him, thought he was strong. In fact, he was one of Master's favorite students, but it wasn't good enough for him. Behind their backs, alone with me, he insulted them all and told me
he wants to kill them all.
It was my word against his, and he had trained me for years to believe that nothing I said matters anyways, so yeah, I stayed quiet. Is this dude in jail now? This is really like concerning stuff. Absolute narcissistic sociopath, like, I don't even know how he's still walking around like a normal human. Because he's definitely not a fucking normal human. We went to the Summer Palace in Beijing, and it has some parts that are really high up. Sis is extremely afraid of heights. She wanted to see the sights, and so she pushed herself to go up there, and had a panic attack over how high it was once she was up there. I comforted her, and Monkey helped her find a way down that wasn't terrifyingly steep. Problem was, when we were leaving the Summer Palace, Monkey and Sis still hadn't returned. It was back in the day when roaming calls cost ass, and I couldn't reach them by phone anyways. I reminded Master that they're still missing. I literally ran around the huge Summer Palace looking for them. Every time I ran back to the group to report that I haven't found them yet, Naruto Headband commented,
How stupid you are. Just leave him. It's not your problem. You're wasting our time.
I'd still run back and keep trying to call them. Naruto Headband did make me feel bad for trying to find them, but I still felt that it was the right thing to do, so eventually I did find them, and when I brought them back, Master actually gave me a smile.
I see you,
he said.
Thank you. Now I know who you are.
It made me cry, and Naruto Headband kept telling me
how much of a dumbass I am.
I didn't care because someone saw me for who I was, so I was holding on to that. That's beautiful at the end. I like to think I would have gone back for my friends too. Like, what else are we gonna do? Go back to the hotel and sleep? Is that really worth leaving somebody lost in China? No! Make sure your group is together. It is the right move, and I'm glad that you stood up and stuck to your guns regarding that. But yes, we ended as we always do. So remember, laughter is the music of the soul. If you can laugh at it, you can get over it. Also, aim to shower daily is good for you. Greenie, out. God damn, dude. Naruto Headband just shows himself to be a psychopath like every part that we get into. The decline for Unfortunate Nookie is pretty steep, but for Naruto Headband, bro, it's basically just a sheer drop-off. Is it possible to get any lower than, like, raping your girlfriend and threatening to kill everybody that you know? Like, what the actual hell is going on here? Oh my god, dude. I hope he gets some comeuppance. I hope he gets fucking smashed in the face with a brick or something. Anything. Like, the Vegeta thing, it really sent me. But it is like an insane person thing to say, is it not? I think that's why it sent me so hard. That is what a psychopath would say. Holy shit, man. I'm looking forward to part 17. A little bit scared as well, knowing all that we know, but I guess we'll have to get to it when we get to it. I do thank you guys for joining me on the journey. If you enjoyed the video, I hope you like, comment, and or subscribe. Maybe share it around, or any of the other parts. You can share those around too. Real MVP Play. Those are down in the description along with a bunch of plugs. We got podcasts. We got playlists. We got some plugs and whatnot. We also got my social medias, Twitter, Discord, Facebook. Yes, I'm everywhere, including Patreon. So I'd like to thank my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons as I do every video. Thank you very much. Robert Waits, Baron Von Waggy Pants, Jarhead Jerry, Oorah, Logan Wolf, yes, I'm Kirby, Captain Clown Jerry, Hong Kong, Aaron W, Alexis Smith, Cinema Susie, Danny Jerry, Nerdnick, For Auld Lang Syne, Fire Drake, Giggle Jerry, Hee Hee, Ayuriri, the most different Jerry spelling. Livison loves Jerry, so does ReddX, Mr. Anime Manga Fan, Rogue, Silent Revolver, Magdalene Marshall Thornrose, the original Jerry, OG, Becky, Jerish Kitsune, Little Lone Wolf, Vanilla Bell, Satori, 211 Jerry, The Return of Jerry, a jury of juggling Jerrys. Althea Blue, Anunnaki, Arnold's Bonafide Marble Jerry, Assassin Pug Jerry, Atheist Jerry, Too Euphoric, Grizzly, Bailey Joy, Bearded Jerry, watch out for that guy, Bitch Gremlin, Blade the Hero, Blameless Fish, Blip Bloop Jerry, Camille Sarah, Commander J Tank, Deltarune Jerry, Dennis Dayton, Dinosaur Nightlight, Disposable Waifu, Aaron Lennox, Frozen Nova Studios, Gypsy, Hey Dream PR, Heathcliff, Itchy Nuts, just scratch him, bro, a pimp named Jay Crisp, yes, you have to say the whole thing, J.M. Coon, Jennifer Schaefer, Jerry Blacktail, Jerry that's more Jerry than the other Jerrys, that's a Jerry fact, maybe, Jerry the Outlaw Mother Trucker, honk honk, John Hero, Jolly Black Jerry, oh, Siboofa, cause if you're boofing it's free, K, Jerry W, Kajow, Crewhee, Lady Jerry Nix Tom, yeah, Jerry the winner, Legend Jerry, Miss Monday, Lord Lido, Jackus Rule, Belgar the Destroyer, Mint Jerry Chip, the freshest of the Jerrys. My boy Nat One Nick, Natari, Nightmare Jerry, oh no, Origami Jerry Steve, congrats on the marriage. Panda Prince Jerry, Bamboo, Phantom of the Pines, Jerrykins and Jerry Beth, Rose Jerry Miller, TSM Kirby, Sarita the Lolita, Serrated Ash, SSS J3 Red Ramtide X, yeah, that's Mr. J, Staples, aka Jerry Yeet, Stephanie Goodner, Synaptic Boomstick, Brewing Tamago, Tapioca Boogaloo, Tato Ferret, Teddy the Police, 10-Ton Monster, the One True Fusky, Tom, but it's the Jerry on the inside that counts. Oh, a lesson to learn for us all. Treeberg, the Jerry Monologues. Wilmax, Comrade Mooney, Kira, you're a wizard, Jerry. Redwin, Amy Prince, Goose Says Honk, Naga Viper, Saints Blessing, John Endors, A Normal Jerry, We Are Jerry, Resistance is Futile, Beard, prepare to be washed. Yeah, we go get him. Hunter of Jerry, Devourer of all things tasty is Tom, Admiral T Tank, Alunia, Amara, Atomic Jerryzilla, AZ, Banished Knight, Babushka's Irradiated Jam, Broken Spine Horseradish, the original, different Jerry, it is Cake Jerry, California Jerry Girl, Canadian Lynx, Carrot Jerry, God of Veggies, good for your eyes, Cha-cha-cha-chia Jerry, Chris Meska, Cinnamon Bunny Dog, Princess Furry Warrior Woo Jerry, Crib Titties, Cuban Jerry, The Fawn Jerry, Electrical Fennec, Ever-Changing Jerry, and Tom, Ghost of Alpha, HMT Mayor, Holy Berry Jerry, Hydra Jerry, Irish Jerry, Jerry Binks, Misa like your name, Jerry was a race car driver, Jerry Alta Rivera, Jerry Bean, Jerry Roxers, Jerry Role-Playing Game, Judge, Jerry, and Executioner, King Tom, Smasher of Jerry's Illas, Kidsikin, Crafty Kitty Cat, Life of a Guardian, Little Ann Woods, Maybe Next Time, Midnight Sun, Milkfed Gimp, Miss Duchess, Not Invisible Angel, I See You, One Leg Jerry, Origami Cam, Princess Rosalie Jerry, congrats on the marriage, Ghosty, Raptor Out, She's my Jerry Pie, Cool Drink a Mountain Dew, what a big surprise, Cringe so good, make a grown man cry, Sweet Jerry Pie, Lorian King, Snary, Spoony the Rogue, Steampunk Ellie, that one Green Jerry, thank you so much for the story, Green Jerry, I really do appreciate that. We got the Necro Jerry Con, the original Jerry, not the most different Jerry, maybe, to Infinite Jerry, and beyond. Unjerry, Tom Promise, Jerry Swears, oh no, bad Jerry, Tom, be a good boy, don't swear, it's just a fact, it's totally science, go look it up. And by it, I mean another ReddX video. And also thank you to my $1 patrons. Beautiful. You guys absolutely killing it on the Patreon. As always, thank you so very much for being who you are, doing what you do. I appreciate it more than words can say. I do hope some other people will consider signing up on the Patreon, but if you can't do it right now, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there. Wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe like watching some more ReddX videos. Yeah. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one, and until then, bye-bye.